this family about the issues with the people around her, about Lifetime, about the monetization of this, the exploitation of this.
Welcome down the rabbit hole, friends. Harassment, bullying, stalking, manipulation, all by the Blanchard family. Well, things have gotten so much worse. Now that Katie Joy Paulson from Without a Crystal Ball has teamed up with Gypsy Blanchard. They were literally caught on a live in TikTok last night, harassing and bullying Adaptive Kate, a true victim of Munchausen's by proxy, who Gypsy had negative interactions with in the past. Adaptive Kate ended up removing her entire channel from TikTok and sent a message saying, "I can't go up against Katie Joy Paulson. This is BS. It's bullying at its worst. Katie Joy has done it before. She'll do it again. But now with Gypsy's involvement, it's being taken to a whole new level."
It's just, when you have a machine like Lifetime that's leading the charge and is demanding that people post and push and promote, your voice becomes so small. Like before she had a release and before she was released, my feedback was taken and actually valued. And once the machine started rolling, like my voice kind of got like lost, you know.
If you're like, what the heck is going on here? Please go back and watch my video from yesterday in which I explain how Katie Joy got wrapped up in the Gypsy Blanchard saga. It started many years ago, and she's been at this for a very long time. It's essentially the long con, if you know what I mean. These voice messages come directly from a YouTube channel called Flawless Nina. Flawless Nina is huge on TikTok, and she just recently started putting a lot of stuff on her YouTube channel. You can go and check her out, but she's a huge part of this story. Flawless Nina stood up to Katie Joy Paulson, and I was so grateful and thankful to her. And now she's releasing some texts because Katie Joy and Gypsy started harassing and bullying another TikTok creator called Adaptive Kate.
Post is not going to be your typical funny post. Kate and I were on live probably for about an hour and a half. Kate shared her story and her sister's story on, being victims of, her mom having Munchausen by proxy. During that live, apparently, Katie Joy, Gypsy, and Kristi were on this live, or one of them, or all. And the exact same story that Kate told. Katie went on her page and regurgitated it verbatim. And Kate made a post kind of speaking about it, but it was very discouraging to her. I'm going to show you the text messages that she sent me, and I just want you guys to read them. Kate texted me and said, "Hey girl, I'm going to take a break from TikTok. I can't do this. I can't go to war against Katie Joy. I have to remove that video before my life is hell against this crazy woman. It's not worth it. I'm upset right now and I'm boiling." So of course I said, "Okay, I get it. Just private it." She said, "I did." I said, "For you only, okay?"
Okay, so there's a lot more to that conversation, which you can see on Flawless Nina's YouTube channel. Please go and check it out. I really want her to get the views for it, and she is doing a phenomenal job standing up to Gypsy Rose Blanchard, Kristi Blanchard, and Katie Joy Paulson, who Nina had Katie Joy show up in her DMs, like wanting to be friendly, and Nina was like, "Hell to the no. I know who you are. I'm aware of all your controversies." But of course, speaking out against Katie Joy Paulson put a big red X on Flawless Nina's back. And now Kristi, Katie Joy, and Gypsy Rose Blanchard are all over TikTok BSing about creators they don't like, to include Flawless Nina and Adaptive Kate. Katie Joy has gone to her Instagram to post all kinds of BS about Nicholas Godejohn, to defend Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and to try to take down Nina. Let's take a look. All right, this is Without a Crystal Ball's Instagram page. Last night, there were so many posts, like 40 posts about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Like, she was clearly manically posting them. Earlier in the day, she had called out Gypsy and Kristi, was like sharing negative information about them. And then Gypsy called her and gave her a 3-hour interview. So now she's all on board with it. And she's going up against Flawless Nina for Gypsy. You know, Gypsy doesn't like Flawless Nina. Kristi doesn't like her. So Without a Crystal Ball writes this: if you are using Nina on TikTok as a source about Gypsy, she is not only unreliable and mostly inaccurate, she also directly interfered in Gypsy's parole and falsely reported Gypsy for violating her parole. People who file reports are not anonymous, and the parolee is made aware of the person who is reporting her. Nina then flat out denied reporting Gypsy to her parole officer. I want to say I really don't care about this. I personally don't want to interfere with Gypsy's parole at all, but like the parole officer probably gets hundreds of thousands of things about Gypsy, and it doesn't matter. Like, they'll go through them. They will pick it out. If Gypsy has done something wrong, Katie Joy, like the professional parole officer will handle it. Like, it's not up to you to deal with it. But this is one of the many things that Katie Joy had to say about Nina. Another thing is, a lot of Katie's posts make absolutely no sense to me. They're screenshots of who knows who talking to who knows who, and Katie just basically says it proves her point. I have no idea what her point is, except for that she wants to ride the Gypsy Blanchard, Kristi Blanchard, like choo-choo train for a little while. So whatever this means, Katie says, huh? You mean it was Fancy Maselli trying to interfere in Nick Godejohn's case because he sent threats to his ex-girlfriend? You mean it wasn't Krusty? That's a name for Kristi Blanchard. I don't know why Katie Joy's using it. Who knows? Trying to debunk something that Flawless Nina said however long ago. Katie Joy writes, Kristi Blanchard didn't interfere in Nicholas Godejohn's case. Again, going to bat for that family. Then Katie Joy Paulson put up a post saying, ask me anything for one night only. I'll tell you all the tea about Gypsy Blanchard. And she got, 40 questions. Full disclosure, I believe, and this is just in my opinion, allegedly, that she asks herself these questions, but whatever. This person asked, at what age did Dee Dee start abusing Gypsy? Katie says, almost from birth. The abuse started gradual and escalated. Dee Dee became more desperate to keep Gypsy at home and sick and had to get more creative to keep her from leaving. Gypsy is so naive. She doesn't know common sayings, had a second-grade education when she was arrested, and was addicted to pain pills that her mom gave her. So in these posts, she spends a lot of time shitting on Nicholas Godejohn, who can't defend himself. She says that he was terribly involved in BDSM, made Gypsy sign a master-slave contract, and she says that, like, Nicholas is the one who should be held responsible for all of this. I'll have to go over that in another video. But right now, I do want to go over all the stuff Katie Joy has to say about Ryan Anderson, which I also think is very unfair. This person writes, examples of Ryan's unhealthy ways in the marriage. Katie writes, oh, that's all going to be seen on the series on Lifetime. Just wait. Katie also writes, Ryan just needs to go away quietly and not make the divorce harder than it has to be. She also says, I can't stand Ryan. Gypsy will not go after him publicly, but Ryan is really into fame and thinks he has fans. It's weird, and it's honestly a reason many of us don't like him. I felt he was there for the fame from day one of her prison release. He enjoyed it a lot. This person asked, why did Gypsy agree to do the Lifetime show? Because Katie Joy, you'll hear in the voice messages at the end, blames the Lifetime show for everything going wrong with Gypsy. Katie Joy answers, she wanted to tell her story. This second set of 8 episodes was required, and she completed the contract requirements. Everyone was speaking for her, and she wanted to speak for herself. Okay, here are several more screenshots, which you can go through and pause and look at yourself. But basically, it's all about Katie Joy being like, wait a minute, Gypsy isn't so bad. Let's all jump on the Gypsy train. And just remember to tell her that I'm the one that sent you there, because these are the only people I have in my life right now. And I really need them to be my besties forever. She went on and on for a long time. But let's move on and take a listen to what Katie was actually saying. Sending voicemails to a TikTok creator all about some tea on Gypsy and Kristi.
They don't listen really anymore. And I don't expect them to do what I tell them to do. But they had always been like, oh yeah, maybe we should just kind of lay back and chill out, kind of thing. But Lifetime has money to make.
In my opinion, Katie Joy Paulson from Without a Crystal Ball only made a relationship with Kristi and Gypsy in order to make money. She knew she would have to sit on it for a while, but she's been using them little by little since Gypsy's gotten out. She's still been making a lot of money on Sister Wives, and she has something else coming out, in the future. So she's just been using them a little, putting a few things out about them here and there. But the thing was, from my point of view, what I believe happened is they stopped talking to her so much. She wasn't getting all the attention she so desperately needs. Like, this person seriously has some issues, in my opinion. She wants to be besties with them, and they were talking to other creators, and they weren't giving her interviews, and they were doing whatever. And so she completely flip-flopped. And for about 6 hours yesterday, she put up a bunch of negative shit about them. They called her, had a 3-hour conversation with her, and then she took it down. All right, let's keep listening to the voice messages.
And then they got linked up with this Brie girl, and that was a huge problem because I was like, why do you have her going on there like bulldog attack and like...
Okay, here's something else you need to know. In my opinion, Katie Joy Paulson is extremely jealous of this girl, Brie, who Gypsy and Kristi made a relationship with. And this person has a TikTok channel, and she goes on and defends Gypsy and has all the fans over there with her. And Katie Joy doesn't like that. She was supposed to be the only one involved with all of this. So she's not happy with Brie, and she does post about her somewhat on her Instagram.
Fighting with people and getting nasty with people, it's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. You are correct. And I think because she is so comfortable seeking attention, and she grew up with a mom that taught her to seek attention, this is what she knows how to do. She doesn't know how to do anything else. And because she's not really getting therapy or doing extensive therapy.
Katie Joy has gone to bat so many times, telling all of us, telling her entire fan base that everyone is wrong, and Gypsy has received extensive therapy and is still doing extensive therapy. When all of these people who really hate Katie Joy come out and they say, like, you can't believe anything she says, I used to feel like this is an over-exaggeration. No, it isn't. You literally can't believe anything she says, in my opinion.
Like, this girl needs intense therapy, not once a week therapy. But because she is so focused on the money side of things, and they've really hyped her up to believe she can make millions. I'm not lying when I tell you that they have an agenda. I mean, hell, Lifetime wanted her to get pregnant for a storyline. It's so gross. I was so disappointed when I found out that they were doing a documentary, this reality show. By the way, it's not a documentary. This is reality TV. Kristi, I can understand where she comes from, because she's just being a very protective mother. Like, she's honestly just trying to protect Gypsy. But I do think that she can sometimes really get
protect the bag.
Too much feedback that's negative. And I can understand wanting to stop the hate, but and wanting people to see the person you see, but you can't control how other people view you, and you can't control what other people see, and the conclusions they draw based on what they know. You can only control what you do. And I've tried to tell them that. I mean, I've tried so many ways to do this, and I don't have anything against Kristi.
Okay, there's more, but you have to go to Flawless Nina's page to take a look at it. And, I think there's a couple more voice messages from Katie. Now, Flawless Nina doesn't identify who Katie was talking to, but I'm pretty sure these are just like long, rambling voice messages she left for Adaptive Kate, the woman she's going after now. Someone who she just met, because she just messaged Adaptive Kate like yesterday. And at first, it's a whole thing where Kate was like, oh, Katie Joy is messaging me. And then later she was like, oh my God, I just heard from everybody how insane she is. I won't be talking to her further. Can you imagine? Katie Joy was just like voice messaging this person like crazy, rambling on about her life, her relationship with Gypsy and Kristi. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But the point of all this, the reason that I'm making these videos and even following this, because those of you who are around are probably aware that I hate involving myself in Katie Joy's BS. And yet I've been covering the Gypsy case for a long time now, and here she is. The reason I'm speaking out about it is because Adaptive Kate felt so harassed and bullied and scared and worried that she took her whole channel down off of TikTok. She's someone who speaks out about Munchausen's by proxy. She's been on like true crime, hidden true crime. She's been interviewed by several people, and hopefully eventually she'll maybe even write a book or make a documentary. Who knows? She had her leg removed at her mother's behest. Like, and now she's gotten fucking bullied off of TikTok by Gypsy Rose Blanchard, Kristi Blanchard, and Katie Joy Paulson. Three's company for these three, and they're disgusting individuals, in my opinion. All right. I'd love to hear from you below. Leave me some comments, likes, subscribe. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what you're thinking about all of this. I hope you guys will join me again tomorrow as we head down another rabbit hole.